What if the universe's greatest secret is not a message, not a signal, but a vast conscious silence? What if the answer to our deepest cosmic questions is not hidden in a distant star or a cryptic radio burst, but instead lies in a silence so profound it feels alive? A silence that waits, studies, and reacts with an intelligence far beyond our comprehension. This is no ordinary gap or dust cloud. In this region, light is not just missing, it is devoured. No echo escapes, no energy flickers back. The anomaly sits, patient, erasing whatever crosses its threshold. The universe does not flare or whisper. Instead, it goes still. It is as if some intelligence has drawn the curtains on reality itself, leaving only a cold, breathless void. Then, the silence shifts. The darkness moves, slow and intentional. It is not random, but almost watchful, its presence growing sharper under human scrutiny. Around the globe, scientists stop breathing, caught between awe and terror. Is the void reacting to us, or is something within it studying us in return? For centuries, humans have wondered if the universe holds secrets, or if we are simply talking to ourselves in the dark. Now, it seems the cosmos may have been listening all along. Let's unravel what the James Webb truly found and why this cosmic silence may rewrite reality itself. The James Webb Space Telescope, our most powerful lens into the unknown, a marvel built from decades of human ingenuity and hope, turns its gaze toward a forgotten patch of sky. This is not a random decision. It is the result of years of mapping, cataloging, and searching for anomalies in the endless dark. There, where astronomers expected emptiness, they find something stranger than any supernova or radio burst. In a slice of space labeled as void, an old blind spot, a region dismissed as unremarkable for generations, Webb uncovers a chill so deep it rattles the very concept of emptiness, a silence absolute, as if reality itself pauses to listen. If this silence is alive, if it sees us, then everything we trust about the cosmos could shatter. Our oldest certainties about physics, about safety, about the very nature of reality suddenly seem fragile. What if the most dangerous force in the universe is not what we hear, but what listens, hidden in intelligent, perfect darkness? This is not just a philosophical question. It is a challenge to every assumption we hold dear. How do you track down something that should not exist? A void that seems to swallow the rules of reality itself? Consider the historical hunt for dark matter or dark energy, concepts once thought unthinkable, now central to our understanding of the cosmos. But even those phenomena, strange as they are, follow rules. This anomaly seems to ignore them altogether. The first clues came in an unexpected pattern, one that echoed not just mathematics, but the structure of human DNA. Scientists raced to decode the message. In some ways, this mirrors the moment in the late 20th century when SETI researchers first heard the famous wow signal. That time, the signal faded, leaving only speculation. But now, the stakes are higher, and the evidence is far more unsettling. The James Webb Space Telescope turned its gaze toward the Aridanus Supervoid, a cosmic stretch notorious for its unnatural chill and almost total absence of galaxies. For years, astronomers had dismissed this region as a mundane gap, just another lonely corner where even stray photons seemed reluctant to wander. The Aridanus Supervoid has a reputation among astronomers, whispered about in late-night conferences as a place where the universe itself seems to forget to exist. Now, it is center stage. Yet, as Webb's infrared eyes scanned deeper, the instruments revealed a perfect, unbroken circle of utter nothingness. This was not simply empty space. Here, matter vanished, energy faded, and the very blueprint of physics unraveled. It was as if some intelligence had carved a wound into the universe. The circle was so mathematically precise that it called to mind ancient symbols, mandalas, crop circles, the Nazca lines. mysteries that have perplexed humans for millennia. Theories erupted and collapsed. No black hole, there was no mass, no pull, no sign of light being twisted or consumed. It was not gravitational lensing, nor any known cosmic mirage. The data described only absence, colder and more final than anything science could predict. It mocked our understanding, much as the first quantum experiments once mocked classical physics. If such a phenomenon could go undetected by our finest tools, what else might be hiding in the dark, watching, waiting, or perhaps communicating in ways we have yet to comprehend? This echoes the historical discovery of pulsars, initially dubbed LGM for little green men, until their true nature was revealed. But here, the stakes are higher, and the answers are not forthcoming. And then, amid the silence, patterns began to emerge, mathematical signals woven into the void, echoing the code of human DNA. The question was no longer what it was, but who or what might be reaching out. Picture yourself gazing into a void so deep it begins to gaze back, counting, signaling, and responding with an intelligence that feels almost predatory. Imagine a chess match where your opponent never moves, then suddenly, with perfect timing, makes a move you could never anticipate. The void is not just passive, it is actively participating in a game we do not yet understand. Nothing about the signal was ordinary. There were no radio waves, no gamma flashes, no light. Instead, the pulses came as ripples in space-time itself, subtle nudges detected only by the most sensitive instruments. With each prime interval, reality itself seemed to twist, as if the universe was being prodded by something unseen. It is as if someone is knocking on a door no one knew existed. Scientists scoured their data, desperate for an explanation. No black hole, neutron star, or artificial probe had ever behaved this way. The patterns were mathematical, ordered, and unmistakably intentional. It was as if something out there was speaking, and mathematics was its chosen tongue. In the past, we have looked for electromagnetic signals, but here, the message is woven into the universe's very bones. At first, the anomaly appeared as a patch of cold, silent darkness, but then it pulsed in a rhythm. 2, then 3, 5, 7, 11. These were not random bursts, nor distant echoes. They were prime numbers, deliberate, precise, impossible to mistake for mere cosmic noise. In history, prime numbers have often been suggested as the ideal language for interstellar communication, as in Carl Sagan's novel Contact. The Webb team braced for the next transmission, uncertain if they should fear or welcome what was coming. Reality itself seemed poised to unravel. This moment echoes the tension of the first moon landing, when the world held its breath, knowing history might change in an instant. Yet these signals, these mathematical whispers, were only the opening act. What followed next would force even the most skeptical minds to reconsider everything they thought they knew. The curtain was lifting on a performance no human had ever witnessed. If this phenomenon is not only intelligent but aware of our gaze, we are no longer observers. We are participants, perhaps even subjects, in a cosmic experiment, facing risks we cannot yet comprehend. Throughout history, contact between civilizations has never left either side unchanged. What happens when the civilization is not from another world, but from another kind of reality? Then, the unthinkable. The anomaly moved, not drifting, but vanishing and reappearing elsewhere, as if skipping across dimensions. It ignored distance, sidestepped the speed of light, and even toyed with time. The rules of physics bent and broke, leaving only questions in its wake. This recalls the way quantum particles can appear to be in two places at once, only on a scale that dwarfs our entire galaxy. What if the cosmos is not only watching us, but answering, with a familiarity that bends belief? The James Webb Telescope's latest data revealed something no one could have imagined: patterns unfurling on the anomaly's surface, fractal and complex, multiplying like living neural webs. These weren't static marks. They changed and evolved as we observed, as if the anomaly sensed our attention and responded in kind. The patterns resembled both the neural networks in human brains and the fractals found in nature, from snowflakes to coastlines. Scientists named it responsive geometry. Each time the telescope's sensors shifted, the anomaly's geometry shifted with them, always unique, always following a logic that hinted at intent. It was as if the universe itself was dancing, choreographing each move just for us, in a language beyond physics. The phenomenon brought to mind the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, where the act of observation changes the observed. Here, though, the change was immediate, personal, and seemingly intelligent. The real shock came when mathematicians joined the hunt. Woven inside these shifting designs were spirals built from prime numbers, radiating outward with impossible precision. Even more unsettling, harmonics within the spirals echoed the intervals of musical chords, major and minor, harmonious and jarring, as if the patterns themselves were a coded message, a signature left behind by something that wanted to be seen. This was not unlike the ancient Greeks discovering the music of the spheres, only now the music was visual, mathematical, and cosmic. Then, the discovery that changed everything. The timing between the anomaly's pulses, once dismissed as random, aligned perfectly with the genetic codons that form human DNA. Each pause and flare mapped onto the triplets that define our genetic code. It was as if the cosmos was holding up a mirror, reflecting our deepest structure back at us. This was no longer a question of intent. It was a question of identity. Was this message crafted for us, or was it our echo in the void? What should humanity do when faced with a cosmic intelligence, or a reflection of ourselves staring back from the void? But before the world could react, the window slammed shut. Access to the telescope's raw data was abruptly sealed. Space agencies moved swiftly, locking down information and seizing control, desperate to contain what they had found. This is reminiscent of moments in history when sudden discoveries, like the splitting of the atom, forced governments to act out of both fear and necessity. If so, the consequences are staggering. Everything we know, science, philosophy, even faith, could be rewritten overnight. Is this the universe's first conversation with humanity, or a sign that we have finally been noticed by something ancient, something beyond comprehension? The answers will reshape our place in the cosmos, much as Copernicus did when he moved the Earth from the center of creation. The team, cut off from official channels, must decide whether to obey or risk everything to share the truth. Outside, rumors already began to spread. Too late for silence. The dilemma is not new. Galileo faced the Inquisition for revealing truths that threatened the status quo. Now, a new generation faces a cosmic inquisition. Suddenly, live feeds from the James Webb Telescope were cut without explanation. Scientists who once debated in public retreated to secret meetings. Rival agencies joined forces, holding urgent sessions as the world waited, gripped by uncertainty. The anomaly had revealed not just a mystery, but the limits of our courage and cooperation. The Cuban Missile Crisis showed how humanity responds to existential threats, sometimes with fear, sometimes with unity. Which will it be now? Was this encounter a probe, a caution, or simply a phenomenon that appeared only when we became capable of seeing it? Was the message intended for us, or had we stumbled into something never meant for human eyes? Some whispered that this was a cosmic test, a signal lying dormant until we proved ourselves ready to notice, and then answered in turn. This echoes the ancient myth of Pandora, whose curiosity unleashed both hope and chaos. Then, just as curiosity peaked and speculation spun wild, the anomaly was gone. In its wake, a stark, geometric sigil hung in the emptiness, not drawn in matter, but woven into the fabric of space itself. It lingered like an afterimage, as if the universe had spoken and then turned away. The signal had vanished. All that remained was the question: had we received a greeting, a challenge, or brushed against a boundary we were never meant to cross? This moment demands more than new physics. It compels us to examine our own readiness, scientifically, ethically, and existentially, to face what might be watching from the dark. Are we prepared not just to grasp new truths, but to accept the burden if those truths are warnings? In the past, the discovery of fire changed our species forever. Now, the fire is cosmic, and the risks are greater still. So what did we truly encounter in that impossible silence? And what new responsibilities and dangers now wait in the shadows as the universe answers in a language only partly our own? If we dismiss or misunderstand what we have witnessed, we risk ignoring the most profound discovery in our history, or overlooking a dire caution from something vast and ancient. Every decision now shapes not just our science, but the fate of our entire species. We must decide whether to respond with openness or with fear, with curiosity or with caution. Yet, as the world reels, a deeper challenge emerges. How do we move forward when the very ground beneath our understanding has shifted? The true test may be not what we discover, but how we choose to respond. Will we build bridges to this new knowledge, or will we erect walls to keep it out? The universe has finally answered. Are you prepared to face what it reveals? What practical steps can we take? First, we must ensure transparency and scientific inquiry, resisting the urge to hide discoveries out of fear. Second, we should foster international cooperation, pooling knowledge and resources to study the anomaly together instead of in secrecy. Third, we must prepare ethical frameworks for potential contact, drawing on philosophy, history, and science. We once believed that science would illuminate every mystery. Yet, here in the endless dark, we have found something that not only defies explanation, but also turns its gaze on us. It feels as though the cosmos is asking a question in return. Were we ever truly alone? Or has the universe been waiting for us to notice it watching back? For countless generations, we have gazed at the stars, searching for meaning in the vast silence. Now that silence has been broken, not with sound, but with a message woven into the very fabric of existence. The James Webb Space Telescope has unveiled something impossible, an entity that thinks, one that communicates in prime numbers and shifting geometries, as if reality itself has learned to speak. This is more than a scientific breakthrough. It is a challenge. It demands we abandon old certainties and confront a reality stranger than fiction. The stakes are nothing less than our understanding of existence, the laws of physics, and the very definition of intelligence. Will we adapt, or will fear force us to retreat from the unknown? Some may wish to look away, but history is written by those who dare to look forward. A new door has opened in the cosmos. What lies beyond could change humanity forever. Will we cross the threshold or remain frozen, afraid to know the truth?